What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. See, we got another huge update. He's gonna have Trump's legal spokesperson and attorney coming out detailing brand new evidence of corruption on the Attorney General Merrick Garland, his partner in crime, that sidekick, the legal special counsel Jack Smith. Guys, this could potentially be sending our case straight towards the dumps. It seems like ever since the Supreme Court has ruled on Donald Trump's in favor of Donald Trump's presidential immunity, all the cases against these rogue prosecutors, Department of Justice, have just been going straight to shambles, guys. I'm excited to get to the update, see exactly what's sending Attorney General Merrick Garland, his partner in crime, Jack Smith, crashing through the floor. So we're going to get straight into it, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. Definitely stick around to the end, so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But let's get straight to the news. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me, and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Okay. I would say this to President Biden and Merrick Garland and Jack Smith and Lisa Monaco and Jay Bratt and Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade and Alvin Bragg and Matthew Colangelo and all these other Biden Democrat lawyers and judges and operatives, Juan Merchan, Chutkin. The Supreme Court just drove a stake through the heart of this Biden Democrat lawfare and election interference. It was a 1-2 punch. It was the Fisher decision where the Supreme Court held that the Biden Justice Department essentially politicized and weaponized, contorted, politicized, and weaponized a post-Enron obstruction of justice statute intended to go after evidence destruction and corporate fraud cases, to go after your political enemy and his supporters, Trump and his allies. That is a devastating blow to the Biden Justice Department's 3.5-year reign of terror, their political persecution, selective prosecution against Trump and his supporters on January 6th. And then you have this powerful presidential immunity case written by Chief Justice John Roberts, not exactly a MAGA warrior. He's actually publicly criticized Trump in the past. And what the Chief Justice wrote is the President of the United States, any President of the United States, is immune from criminal prosecution for his official acts, not his personal misconduct, his official acts, because if you don't hold that way, you're going to see the president indict and prosecute his predecessors for their official acts, and you're going to destroy the presidency and therefore destroy our country. I was kind of excited for the Trump 47 Justice Department to come along so we can indict President Obama for capital murder for his extrajudicial drone strike on 2 American citizens, including a minor. I was excited to indict President Biden for his illegal mass parole of over 10 million illegal immigrants into our country and the rapes, murders, and other violent crimes that have resulted. Even George W. Bush for his lying about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and the resulting hundreds of thousands of deaths. Unfortunately, my 3-week reign of terror is going to be a lot more boring after this presidential immunity case. So I'm kind of disappointed in that way. I guess the viceroy can't be a dictator for those 3 weeks.
Oh man, they're the last remaining staffer at Media Matters is breaking off their fingernails trying to clip this. Hit Mike. Okay, so brass tacks, real quick. I've seen this speculated upon by people who seem pretty smart on X, saying that this is going to be the ruling that could effectively upend and overturn, jam up, or destroy all of the cases against Donald Trump. Is that true?
Yes. And let me tell you how it's true. On the January 6th cases, it's very obvious, right? That a lot of what they put in those indictments, both by Jack Smith, who is used to getting his ass kicked at the Supreme Court and just got his kicked at the Supreme Court again. I mean, this guy is such a clown. He needs to give up his career as a lawyer and just go be a clown on a TV show, because he just constantly gets his kick. So those January 6 cases, between the Fisher decision that got rid of 2 of 4 of Jack Smith's charges against Trump or gutted them, and then now this presidential immunity case, there's going to be like 15 or 20% of Jack Smith's case left for trial. And then after trial, that case will get reversed. Even if Jack Smith wins, he'll get reversed, because it's, again, it's not a crime to object to a presidential election. It's allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887. It's allowed by the First Amendment. That's why Al Gore and John Kerry and Hillary Clinton aren't in prison after they objected, because it's not illegal. And then so that gets rid of Jack Smith's January 6th case and Big Fanny's case down in Georgia. But she got rid of her own case down there because she decided to screw her employee and then take illegal kickbacks from him in the form of lavish trips around the world. So that case is going to go away because of that. But then if it doesn't go away because Big Fanny can't keep her Big Fanny out of the workplace, then this January 6th, this presidential immunity case is going to gut that. And then with Alvin Bragg's case in New York, you saw that Judge Merchan, this corrupt judge whose daughter's raising millions of dollars off of this case, he had to delay the sentencing by more than 2 months because guess what? Judge Merchan allowed into evidence conversations that President Trump had with 2 of his top White House advisors, which are covered by presidential immunity. And the Supreme Court just said you can't do that. And so there's going to be a mistrial in this Bragg case. So people who keep saying that Trump's a felon, he's not a felon right now. The jury found him guilty, but you're not a felon until the judge convicts and sentences. So Trump's not a felon, and he's not going to be a felon ever, because that case is going to get tossed out because of this presidential immunity decision. So what's left? You have the classified documents case down in Florida. Well, guess what? We have a good judge down there with Judge Eileen Cannon, who rules for Trump sometimes and rules against Trump sometimes, like what a judge is supposed to do to protect the criminal defendant, to make sure he gets a fair process. And if you saw in this presidential immunity decision, the Chief Justice scolded these judges like Judge Chutkan, who railroaded President Trump and stampeded over his constitutional rights. Trump's going to come out of this. He's going to win on November 5th. He's going to be back in the White House on January 20th. And then his Justice Department must open a criminal probe, and they must deliver severe legal, political, and financial consequences to these Biden Democrats who have run this illegal conspiracy against him, his top aides, and his supporters.
So that's a perfect jumping off point, actually, to the next question I had for you, because since we last spoke, Mike, there's been some saber rattling from inside of the special counsel's office. Oh, Jack Smith has been stroking that beard, and he has said to the press that he is really excited right now to pursue the Trump case past Election Day, even if Donald Trump wins. Here's what the Washington Post had to say about it in a massive headline with a big splash with Jack Smith's grody beard. I think there's a French fry in there somewhere. And he's saying that up until the 5 o'clock on the date of Donald Trump being sworn in to office, January 20, 2025, that Jack Smith is going to be furiously trying to put Trump in prison. I just couldn't wait, Mike, for your response to Jack Smith here.
Well, it's good to know that Jack Smith understands that Trump's going to win. And Trump's going to win in big part because Jack Smith is such a buffoon. Again, the guy who repeatedly gets his kicked at the Supreme Court. He did in the Bob McDonnell case. Remember, that was 8-0. It would have been 9-0, but Justice Scalia died. Jack Smith got reversed there after he destroyed former Virginia Bob McDonnell's life and political career, because Bob McDonnell was a likely presidential or vice presidential contender, until Jack Smith, the political Scud missile, destroyed his career, right? And so Jack Smith got back. He got banished to The Hague. He got brought back. He has a very wealthy wife. His wealthy wife does documentaries for Michelle Obama. Jack Smith is this buffoon, like pool boy lawyer who is obviously a total clown and cannot do this job. Look, I would say to Jack Smith that right now you guys are the hunters, and on January 20th, you're going to become the hunted when the Trump 47 Justice Department opens a criminal probe on your obvious criminal conspiracy under 18 USC 241 and 242 to violate the constitutional rights of President Trump and his top aides like Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon, who are sitting in prison right now, his lawyers like John Eastman and Jeff Clark and Rudy Giuliani, his supporters on January 6th, parents outraged by gender chaos in schools. Christians praying outside of abortion clinics, including 75-year-old Christians going to prison, while this President Biden and his attorney general and these Democrat operatives at so many different levels in the Justice Department, Manhattan DA's office, New York Attorney General's office, Tish James, Fulton County DA's office, Arizona AG, Chris Maez, whatever the hell her name is. These people are going to be on the receiving end of subpoenas from this criminal probe. They're going to have to lawyer up. They're going to have to spend a lot of money. They're going to have to turn over their documents. They're going to have to come testify. Maybe they'll plead the Fifth Amendment because they're going to be targets of this probe. But guess what? There are going to be severe political, legal, and financial consequences for this Republican conspiracy by Biden and these goons. And I want them to remember this when they're crying about this. Remember what they say to us. Nobody is above the law.
Oh, man, I can't wait to sell those bumper stickers. We'll put it right on a shirt. We're going to, the moment that Donald Trump wins the election at presumably 9 p.m., based on recent polls and what we've been talking about the whole show, at whether it's Kamala Harris or a corpse like Joe Biden at the top of the ticket, Donald Trump wins at 9 p.m. that night. Mike, I will co-brand a Nobody is Above the Law t-shirt and bumper sticker with you. And it'll have your face on it. It'll be great. It'll have your face as the viceroy. And I think it'll sell like hotcakes. I want to talk just really quickly here because it is confusing to some people given the bluster out of the special counsel's office and the DOJ, because they're like, no, Donald, the investigations must continue. Nothing Trump can do can stop the wheels of justice. What would you advise the president to do once he becomes the executive once more about these cases?
I don't think I have to advise the president to do anything, because I think the acting attorney general, the second he takes office, is going to order Jack Smith and Matthew Graves, the DC U.S. attorney, to dismiss all of these January 6th cases with prejudice immediately. Then the acting attorney general is going to fire all of these bad actors, and then the acting attorney general is going to open a criminal probe on all these bad actors. And we must do this, because what President Biden and Garland and these Biden Democrats have done is they have crossed the Rubicon. They have destroyed our country with this republic ending lawfare and election interference, and they only appreciate and understand power. So we need to show them power. We need to give them retribution. And people are like, you can't do retribution. Yes, retribution is a big part of justice, and retribution has a deterrent effect, so this never happens again. So these Biden and Obama operatives never think that they can get away with illegally politicizing and weaponizing our intel agencies and our justice systems at every level, in the Justice Department, in New York, in Manhattan, in Atlanta, in Arizona. This is unacceptable, what they've done. They must face severe consequences. Again, I call it the dead chicken strategy. So we need to wrap those dead chickens around their necks. Those dead chickens of these indictments and these investigations are going to rot around their necks. And as they rot, they're going to lose the taste for chicken. And so I promise you, after we're done, they'll never think about doing this again.
That'd be great. I think that most people in the country would really like that, because it's been one, a huge distraction, and then two, what are you looking at here? Putting the president in jail before he becomes president? Again, as Tucker says, Donald Trump is not just the Republican nominee; he's the presumptive president, and they're about to put him in jail for some crime that everybody agrees on is complete and total bullshit.
Yeah, nothing screams democracy like trying to bankrupt, throw off the ballot, and prison for life, and even pursue, after he wins the election, the president of the United States. I mean, the people who are pretending like they're saving American voters from democracy are actually destroying it. Let's just see what happens with these democracy people when they throw old Joe Biden off the Democrat ticket after he won the Democrat primary overwhelmingly. Nothing screams democracy like Obama and Big Mike and Kamala and Nancy Pelosi and these other Democrat operatives colluding in a smoke-filled back room to throw overboard the duly elected Democrat nominee for President, Joe Biden.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from Mike Davis, he's breaking it down for us on how this whole thing, Attorney General Merrick Garland, his plot with his sidekick Jack Smith, is all getting soiled. We're seeing that all their plans have been flipped upside down by the Supreme Court's ruling granting Donald Trump that presidential immunity. It's also soiling not only, Jack Smith and Attorney General Merrick Garland's their efforts, but also, we're seeing it with Judge Juan Merchan. We're going to see a mistrial in that case. I mean, that's the one where they're trying to slap and say Donald Trump was a felon. Even seeing Joe Biden use that on the debate stage, saying, hey, you're the only convicted felon on this stage. Like, get out of here, Joe Biden. This is all wrongfully brought about. This is a bunch of charade cases, and now they're having to pay all these rogue justice, Department of Justice officials. We got Jack Smith, Fani Willis, we got Alvin Bragg, that Judge Juan Merchan, all the corrupt judges. I mean, they are all going to have to pay. We're seeing that right here. The left is urging Donald Trump shouldn't seek any type of retribution, and they should just learn that, hey, that was wrong what they done to Trump in the past, and we should just let it be water underneath the bridge. That's not what's going to happen, guys. Donald Trump has to rub their nose, and I love Mike Davis's analogy here where he's saying the rotten chickens around the neck so they don't want chicken anymore. I mean, that right there is essentially what has to happen in order to, teach these folks on the left, all these rogue justice and officials that have come after Donald Trump and tried to interfere with 2024 elections, teach them a lesson. This can never happen again. Don't do it against another political opponent, because once they win, once they overcome the obstacles that you're putting in front of them, they're going to come back and put those same obstacles in front of you. It should show those figures on the left who keep screaming Donald Trump is trying to put an end or stop to democracy, that it's not him, it's all these rogue justice and officials who are not letting it be up to the American people. Ultimately, they're trying to put it all on them. They're trying to stop this guy being on the ballot by throwing all these charade cases in front of him, try to throw him in jail. I mean, come on, guys. Ultimately, it's supposed to be up to the people in a democracy. It's supposed to be a collective decision. Everyone's vote should be counting. Seeing all these corrupt figures going to great lengths trying to keep Donald Trump's name off that ballot or slapping with these criminal charges that wrongfully brought about. I mean, get it out of here. I'm totally on board with Mike Davis where he's saying January 20th comes around, guys. We got to make sure we let everyone on the left know that no one is above the law, and we'll make sure that justice is served, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts, guys. This seems like a very bad day for all these justices, these corrupt figures that tried to get in between Donald Trump and that 2024 seat in the White House, guys. It just seems like it's all coming crashing down. You guys think Donald Trump is right to be trying to seek retribution on these folks when he gets back into office, guys? Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button. Share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible. You guys share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing. You guys hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one.